It's Madden NFL 23.
And the question is, are you ready for some football?
It's the Dallas Cowboys and the Arizona Cardinals.
Next on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Valley of the Sun at State Farm Stadium here in Glendale. Tonight we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the Arizona Cardinals. Again, everybody, alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, when you and I were going through our final run-throughs at breakfast, we kept thinking tonight we're going to get to see a couple of very good passing offenses.
And we're talking about both sides having multiple receivers that could have an impact on this game. It's not just one guy that's going to make all the plays. If you take him away, maybe number 2, number 3, they make the big plays that impact who wins the game.
Now the big leg of Matt Prater ready to get this one started. And this one is underway here on EA Sports. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. Now we'll see what the right arm of Dak Prescott has in store as the Dallas Cowboys offense sets up shop.
And how about the toughness of Dak Prescott? We see it all the time on the field. And remember when he had that serious ankle injury, would he return to form? Boy, did he ever. And he was better than ever, and that's great for the NFL. Terrific resilience, playing at a high level, capable of winning a championship with his arm and his legs.
They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
Meanwhile, Dak's throw pulled in by Lamb. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Prescott looks to throw on first. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that brings up third and a full 10 yards. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. On third down, it's Prescott. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
Yeah, he said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. Here's Murray back near his goal line. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And they'll get him down up past the 15. That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. First down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam. Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. So a little breathing room now. 1st and 10 at the 17. They'll fake it to Connor. Now Murray. He'll get this to Connor underneath. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring up 2nd down. They'll run for the first time with James Conner. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Play action. Now it's Murray. High throw, but he makes the catch. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. But forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
You like that?
Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
Here's Murray from midfield. He's going deep for Brown. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown. Marquise Brown, 50 yards. And the Cards put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. They said that they wanted to get him involved early, and what a way to cap their opening drive, Charles. We know he's one of the fastest receivers in the NFL, and he showcased it on that play.
And when you have a guy like that, you want to make sure the defense sees him early, right? You want to see how they're going to adjust, how they're going to try and guard him, because they can't replicate his speed in practice unless they've got one of the few guys who are as fast as he is. And all it took was one drive, he burned them, and I don't think it's the last time they called his number in this one.
Prater for the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. A first down throw for Prescott. Looking for the out route here, and he's got Cooks. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. Oh, he caught it. Just couldn't get the feet down. Couldn't get that toe tap sequence, right? I was ready to call him tippy toes if that one was completed.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Throwing, Prescott. And that is incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
On is the punter, Brian Anger, to kick this one away. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. They've got the 7-0 lead. Now they've got the football back after their defense got the stop, CD. And you get the feeling if they could score here, they'd really have all the momentum on their side.
And you just wonder right now, is the quarterback and the play caller totally in sync? Are they of one mind that, hey, what worked last time? Let's keep doing it until they stop us. Or do they go to a different section in the playbook, show them something different? Either way, they want a repeat of their first drive.
And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Murray to Moore, 1st down, Arizona.
Well, it's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Murray a give. This is Connor. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Now Murray off play action. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Following the interception, here's Prescott. And this one quickly to Lamb. And a tackle going to be made at the 38.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. They'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Here's Pollard again. That's some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy 1st down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Play action now. Prescott. He's got his man. It's Gallup. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they go to work on a 1st and goal. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. That ball is caught. It's Gallup. Touchdown, Cowboys. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from evening this one up. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. 5 plays there on that drive, and it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And no run back here for more. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25. The Cardinals offense ready to set up shop. They had the interception last drive, led to the tying touchdown. So 7-7 the score as they begin 1st and 10. They start with a give to Connor. And some space here. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. 75 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. So that run there, yeah, I don't know if it's overstating things to call it a thing of beauty, but in terms of football plays, that's as good as you're going to see.
And what I really enjoyed about that run and what made it so impressive to me was how he improvised along the way. Sometimes on a big play, you just get the football and you take off in a straight line and go. But this time, how about the artistry of that play? That looked a little bit like a Picasso to me.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. They'll run here with Connor. And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. James Conner, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Cardinals have taken the lead. So the big play to kick off the drive set them up 1st and goal, and they're able to cash in right away on play number 2.
I think I'm starting to understand more and more when we get ready to do games and we meet with coaches why they talk about big plays, explosive plays, and how it sets them up for success, because that's exactly how they're able to score on this one. We saw the touchdown. We saw the payoff. But, of course, that big, long chunk play is what got them in position.
Now Prater to add the PAT. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Dallas offense set for this next drive. After that last score we just saw, now 14-7, so a chance to march down the field here, try to tie this football game. So Prescott to the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going into the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st. Now Prescott. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Dallas. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and out will come the offense as they take over. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football.
You're looking there at a defensive back who's maybe a step slower than he was when he came into the league a decade ago. I know I questioned his speed coming into the game, but what he's lost in speed, he's more than made up for it with intellect. And that's a great job of knowing how to position himself to make that interception.
The Dallas offense back out onto the field. And they'll take over here following the interception with a chance to tie the ball game. It's 1st and 10. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. It'll be a handoff to Pollard. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Prescott. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
But they've certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Now a give here to Pollard. Shifts by him. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And great effort. Does he get burned for that in film? He fought through some tackles. End result, though, a fumble.
It's going to be one of those situations where he'll get yelled at about the fumble, but at the same time get a check mark for the extra effort. And so it's one of those tough, tricky things for coaches. You don't want to coach it out of them so much that you take away the effort. You just want them to be conscious of taking care of the football.
Following that fumble recovery, it's Murray. Pass complete to Moore. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give them a short yardage situation here for 2nd down. Play fake. Murray. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on first down.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. Nifty move. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Right now they're on the wrong end of the scoreboard, and that won't change if this drive ends like the last one when they had that lost fumble. So you have a feeling taking care of the football certainly paramount right now.
Yeah, and it's not just the guy who dropped it on the last drive, is it? That means everyone who might touch the ball is getting the same message. Guys, ball security, paramount. Let's take care of it, and if we do, we've got a chance to put points on the board.
Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. Taken down at the 47-yard line.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Prescott. Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Trying to run for it with Pollard. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Off the play fake, Prescott. That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass. On 2nd and 10, Prescott. And that is incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here, because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock, because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the 1st half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Prescott now. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And fortunately, he's able to reel it back in, but it's going to go down as a big loss here on the play. The Cardinals going to use the 1st of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Throwing on first down is Murray. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack.
Now this is where field awareness comes into play. He's getting perilously close to his own goal line, and after that sack, backed up to his own 2.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. From his own end zone now, it's Murray. And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety.
All right, partner, juice is wild on this sequence. 2 plays, 2 sacks, and now 2 points thanks to the safety. Offensively, there just didn't seem to be much of a plan when they came out on attack. That let the defense create a little chaos up front and set up one of their guys to make a play and get through and record the sack.
So a free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. This is fielded at the 27. The Cowboy offense going to head out now late in this first half. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Prescott to throw it. Out toward the sideline and completing it to Pollard. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Prescott. There again is Cooks, complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches. To throw is Prescott. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. on the right hash. Officially, this will be a 51-yard attempt. And the kick is good. He needed a little help there from the crossbar, but the carom goes his way. So add 3. All told, after the safety, it's a 5-point swing. But that could have turned out much worse.
Well, you don't want to say no harm, no foul, but I do believe you're right. A 9-point swing hurts. 5 points, much more manageable, especially in a tight game like this.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. Taking it about the 1. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. So time perhaps for one final kneel down before they take this lead to the locker room. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we have reached halftime here in a tight 2-point contest. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Cowboys. And they did not do much at all in terms of throwing the football in those first 2 quarters. That's going to need to improve if they want to erase this deficit. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Cards with a lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. Taken at the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Cardinals ready to go here to start the third quarter. And, Charles, they got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Murray. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Shotgun now for Murray. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Connor up the middle. And he's got some space here. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 104 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Murray now to throw. Eluding the pressure right. He's going deep for Brown. Oh, they've intercepted Murray for the 3rd time. Picked up by Malik Hooker. And the Cowboys are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. That is a tough way to start the 3rd quarter. You get the football, hoping to drive it down, put it in the end zone, and take the lead. Instead, they give them the football.
And I think the key here is for them to not get discouraged. That is not how they drew it up, not how they saw it in their minds. But there's a long way to go in this game. You know, they've just got to find a way to come back one play at a time. Yes, it's a cliche, but they can get it done.
The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the 2nd half. Their defense did its job, forcing the takeaway there to start the half, and now can the offense follow suit?
And you'd better believe that one side of the ball feeds off the work of the other, so they'll want to come out, establish some rhythm, and go down and take the lead.
So Prescott to the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. Meanwhile, Prescott's throw there caught by Gallup. Just a gain of a couple there, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected, but sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to, so sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Prescott looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after, and it's 3rd down. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. Who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there. I love the confidence that they have to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Prescott going to do it himself. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Now that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
Here's 2nd and a yard. Prescott from the gun. Looking for the out route here, and he's got Cooks. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Prescott now from the 50. Out of his hands quickly to CeeDee Lamb. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
A couple of 1st downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. Play fake. Here's Prescott. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The corner blitz pays off. There as they sack him for a loss of 5. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. Run for Pollard. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Swinging this out for Pollard. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
So now on 4th down, Mike McCarthy will turn to his field goal unit. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. And his kick is right there. It's good, and they have regained the lead.
Well, a pretty important sequence here, CD. They were trailing in the second half. The interception gives them the opportunity, and the field goal gives them the lead.
And what a clutch play. You love to see guys come through like that. Now it's their game to lose. Time to get back out there and come through with another big stop.
The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away.
On the return, Rondale Moore will bring it out. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the second half.
Now left side on the swing pass. I call it no gain there on the first down play.
Give them the completion, no gain, but let's focus in on that tackle. Open field tackling, the hardest thing to do in the game, I believe.
But when you get outside the tackle box, it becomes a numbers game. The defense had more than they could block.
A third quarter now, to 1-point game as they line up 2nd and 10.
Murray going to throw.
He'll get this to counter underneath.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
They'll try and run for it with counter. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Murray. He's got the connection to Moore. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be second down. They run behind center with Connor. Now they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. Give him 16 yards there, and it's a Cardinals first down as well. And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Murray giving to Connor on the draw.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
So 3rd down, and a field goal from here would be right about 50 yards as they try to get closer. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 22-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the Stix.
They're not out of it yet, but in order to come back, they need to play clean football the rest of the way. He makes a correct read there, passing on challenging a blanket coverage and getting the 1st down with his legs instead.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Connor going to get it again on 2nd down.
And he's going to push his way down to about the 12.
141 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
Thought they'd run the football there on 3rd and inches, decided to try to pass it, and obviously it did not pay off.
Yeah, that is conventional wisdom. You don't have far to go to pick up the 1st down. I wonder if they overthought it a little bit. Thought maybe they'd catch them napping and get a big play over the top. Instead, the sack occurred.
So here comes the veteran Matt Prater in a big spot in this ballgame. This for a 4th quarter lead. Prater's kick is good, and they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter.
So he waited on the sideline for his first chance in the ballgame, and it didn't come until the 4th quarter, but he connects there. A big one to give him the lead.
Boy, you talk about coming in cold. I don't care how many times you kick it into a net. You're not really ready when you go out there and all that beef is coming at you trying to block the kick. Big spot, and he delivers.
Raider now will send it away following the made field goal.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line.
Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field.
And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this fourth quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run with Pollard. And some room to maneuver. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Another 1st down, this time on a gain of 19.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott.
Able to hit his target, Lamb.
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. Got the defense on their heels. 2 1st downs in a row and now a pickup of 8.
Let's do this, man.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2.
Prescott off play action. And that is incomplete here.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Let's go. It's showtime, baby.
A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on 3rd down. Here's Pollard. Oh, look at the juke. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
70 yards on the ground here for Pollard. This is a 1st down.
I was used to joke with my teammates who carried the ball a lot. When we got in these situations and they were carrying us home, I used to tell them, boy, you guys just look like Paul Bunyan, just growing stronger, bigger, tougher. And all night long, he's carried this team.
He has indeed. Everything magnified right now. A huge 3rd down conversion. Prescott on 1st down.
Open man, right side, it's Lamb. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Yeah, the Cowboys are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. Now Prescott. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. From 4 yards out.
And the Cowboys put together a fourth-quarter drive to take the lead. This has definitely been a back-and-forth affair, and now they have the lead here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and they gave up the field goal on that last drive, as we remember, but it felt like their offense told them, don't worry about it. We've got your backs. We'll come back with a touchdown of our own, and they did.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And the lead is up to 5. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away.
This taken in at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Kyler Murray now in the Cardinal offense. Down by 5, 2:21 the time left. Plenty of time here. They've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning as they've got it 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Murray. Flushed out right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. DeMarcus Lawrence able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. After the sack on 1st down, Murray. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. But Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick 6.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In the case of a defense, they want to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
A try here for the extra point. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he returns this to the 22. So now the story changes. Trailing in this one now. And time, a huge factor. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. Murray trying again after the pick six. Finding Pascal. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding goal.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Murray now. Screen pass to Connor. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
He's had success running the football, and this is more or less an extension of that because they drop it off to him on the screen. And I'll bet he's thinking to himself, if I didn't have to slow up a bit here in traffic, I could have really made something out of that one.
Cardinals got to go quickly, hustling to the line. To throw again on second down. Murray, now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
Now Pollard. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll go option to the short side. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
I got you, baby. It's one play at a time, baby. Big time.
So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Up the middle they go. Pollard, a short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. The Cowboys on their way to victory as they take a knee.
So now on 4th down, Mike McCarthy will turn to his field goal unit. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. And this one is right through, and that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And Moore, he's going to sit on this one, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. So they say no to the penalty. The incompletion stands. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And what they want to do is go ahead and take those downs away from them. You never want to give extra snaps to any offense. That's how you get hurt.
Murray, one final try. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game.
But Charles, we retreated to an excellent game today, capped off by that second-half comeback. This was a joy to watch.
Entertaining for us, not so much to the team who led at halftime and now is leaving here, knowing that they let a win slip through their fingers. Tough one for them to carry home.